Hi everyone, it's day 11 of my 60-day juice fast, and I'm grinning because I was just talking to the camera forever and I realized that it wasn't even recording. I was thinking, wow, that's such good stuff, but such is life. Hopefully this is indeed recording. Today is all about the practical reality of choosing to do a juice fast or taking on something that requires immense amount of discipline and choice and intention. And yeah, it's great that I've been showing you the adventures that I've been taking and family barbecues and all sorts of fun things, certainly juicing and taking juices to work. But today I wanted to get down into the weeds and maybe give you something really concrete to hold on to and to try to build some success around. You know, there was this famous author, unfortunately passed away not too long ago, but he wrote a really prolific book. Many of you have probably read it, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And he used to always say this quote. He used to say, common sense is not common practice. And really what that means is we fill our lives full of information, but it's powerless information because it's not coupled to action. And so, yeah, it's one thing for us to know the right thing to do as it relates to our health, as it relates to our finances, as it relates to our interpersonal relationships. But unless we actually choose those things, unless we act on that knowledge that we have, it's just useless. And that's why these principles that I want to bring to you today, they may not seem like anything revolutionary. I'm certainly not inventing anything new under the sun. But their power, which is immense, is found when we put action, when we associate action with these principles. So the number one principle that I've kind of been centering my fast around is have a support structure, have a support system, have cheerleaders. You know, I am so blessed. My wife Amy, my family members, my friends, they have been 100% about this journey. I'm naive to think about what it would be like if I didn't have people championing my cause. I do. And another great author, a guy named Simon Sinek, he always used to say in his book, Start With Why, he said, your number one job is to find people who believe what you believe. And so if you're doing this fast and if you don't have people in your life that believe what you believe that you can do it, that you can be better, that you can change, then what are you doing? Find other people. So build a support system, build a structure. Number 2 is preparedness. Every day is kind of just this whole process of getting set up. You know, I've chosen, for right or wrong, for good or bad, for up or down, I've chosen to make all my juices in the morning. And I know there's people out there that will say, they'll probably write comments and say, you know what, Brent, you lose all your nutrients when you do that. Well, guess what? I can almost hear the comments. I can practically picture what they look like as I'm reading them on my blog, and I can see people saying something to the effect of, hey Brent, you know, what happens after these juices sit is you lose all these nutrients, and yeah, that's good and well. But guess what happens in my life if it gets to 3 o'clock and I'm sitting in an open house and I haven't prepared a juice? All of a sudden that McDonald's dollar menu is starting to look pretty good, and I can practically smell that whatever it is, and I'm on that path to gluttony before you know it. So I've chosen to get prepared early in the morning and make the amount of juice that I need to get me through the day. And again, for right or wrong, for good or bad, that's just the approach that I've taken. The third thing is budgeting. Although I'm going to unpack this in a lot more detail in videos to come, mostly because it's so early in this journey that I don't have really, really good data, I have no doubt that from a budgetary standpoint, this is having an impact on my life. I'm looking forward to actually seeing, kind of unpacking the receipts and getting everything into Quicken and getting a better snapshot of how much of an impact it's had on my budget. Yeah, sure, I've stopped going out, I've stopped drinking soda, I've stopped doing all these other things. But I think because of the organic and raw nature of the fruits and vegetables that I've been consuming and just the sheer amount, I think it's going to have a negative impact on my budget. But in the videos to come, we can definitely unpack that some more and give you a little bit more of a clear snapshot of what that looks like and how much I've been investing in my health. And the last core principle that I want to talk about today is measurement, measuring. For years and years, actually, I have spreadsheets worth of data. I used to stand on the scale every single day and calculate my weight and track it and measure it and see where I was. I was very, well, quite frankly, obsessive about it. And if you knew me and you knew maybe some of my strengths and weaknesses, you'd also know that, gosh, if I just walk past the refrigerator and glance at it the wrong way and start thinking about what's in there, gosh, the next day I could be 3 or 4 pounds heavier. It's just the nature of being such a big guy, water weight, and all the different things. And so along with these huge swings, these ups and downs of measuring, one day up 3 pounds, the next day down, whatever it is, it really took an emotional toll on me. And so I found myself wanting to, in addition to breaking free from really bad habits and bad foods and those types of things, I wanted to break that cycle of being on the scale every single day. So I've chosen just to stand on the scale once a week, and honestly, it's been liberating. And it gives me something to look forward to. I look forward to Fridays. I can't wait to see this Friday what the results are like, and I can't wait to share them. And so measuring is important. You have to know where you're at. You can't know where you're going unless you know where you are. And so I'm an advocate for it, but I'm not an advocate for compulsion and for obsession. And so that's why I've chosen just to measure once a week. So those are the 4 kind of main principles. Again, you need a support system, you need a support structure, you need people that are your cheerleaders, you need people who believe what you believe. That's your number one job in life. You need preparedness, you need to get your ducks in a row and set yourself up for success. You need to take into consideration budgetary constraints and how this could impact your financial situation. And then lastly, you need to measure. So that's my encouragement. I don't know where you're at on your journey. I don't know what your journey is. I don't know if, I don't even want to speculate about what it is. I've tried to share with you what my journey is, and as you've probably read in the blog, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a kinesiologist. I'm just someone who has a struggle and who was inspired by a movie and has chosen to take this adventure and share with others. So hopefully that's encouraging to you, and we'll see you again coming up soon, probably tomorrow, if not the next day. All right, cheers.